Are you still on the fence about the 56mm focal length? It's the equivalent of an 85mm on full frame cameras, making it a go-to choice for portrait photography. In today's video, I'm going to share a few compelling reasons why this focal length should be in your kit. Plus, I'll share my personal recommendations of 56mm lenses that I've tested over this past year, so you can find a lens that best suits you. Now, this is the XF 56mm f1.2WR, and I love this lens. Why do I love this lens so much? First off, image quality. This lens is freaking sharp, corner to corner, even at wide open at f1.2, it's freaking brilliant. Another thing I really like about this lens is the close focusing distance, which is at 50 centimeters. It's great to get in close and get those detailed shots. Another thing I like about the 56mm focal length is the bokeh. Not just this, but the other 56mm lenses. Generally, the 85mm focal length has a wide aperture, anywhere from f1.2 all the way to f1.8. Because these lenses have wide aperture, you're going to get some beautiful buttery smooth melt in your mouth bokeh. If you ever want subject isolation and you want your subject to pop out of the image, this focal length helps you achieve that. It's also good in low light. And 85mm lenses, again, are usually anywhere from f1.2 to f1.8 depending on your budget. Because of that, it's going to do well in low light because of how wide it can open its aperture. This allows in a lot more light, so it'll help in situations like a dimly lit venue if you were to use this in a wedding scenario, as opposed to something like an f2.8 lens or an f4 lens. Another thing I like about 56mm lens is its compression. Because of its telephoto focal length, this is going to help make the background appear closer than they really are, which creates a pleasing look to an image. This effect is visually pleasing in both portraits and landscapes, and it offers a more cinematic feel to your images. 85mm full frame equivalent lens is going to make you have that pro look that people want. Usually you see this in headshots. It's taken with this lens because it's just a sweet spot when it comes to the focal length, where it just makes the subject's face flattering, and it won't give your subject a distorted look like some of the wider focal lengths out there. Not only is the 85mm lens or 56mm lens good for photos, I also find that this focal length makes a good video lens as well. If you ever want to film some B-roll shots and get those detailed shots, this lens will be great at it as it can isolate the subject. I really enjoy shooting with the XF 56mm f1.2. With the original one, I've taken some great shots with it over the years. Just last year, I upgraded to the WR version. Now, this version is much better in my opinion than the older version. It has that WR for the weather resistance, and it takes really sharp photos, sharper than the original. And you can definitely take advantage of the 40 megapixel sensor with the WR version lens. Now, this lens right here though, it's very heavy and big compared to the other lenses, and it's very expensive, coming in at $1,000. But if you want the best of the best for the Fujifilm X-Mount, you should get this lens right here. It has great image quality, it has great bokeh, great build with weather sealing. This one is it. But what if you don't have $1,000? Let's just say, you know, you got at least like, I don't know, like 200 bucks. Well, I got you covered. There are 3 budget 56mm lenses that I've tested out this past summer that fits into this category. Some of these lenses are provided by our friends at Vitopal, so if you're interested in any of these lenses, I'm going to drop a link to their store for you to check out. So the 3 lenses that I tried is the TT Artisan's 56mm f1.8, the Viltrox 56mm f1.7, and I also got the Mikey 55mm f1.4 for the Fujifilm X-Mount. Now, all these 3 lenses come in at a different price point and offers different things. If you want the sharpest lens out of the 3 budget lenses here, and you want good image quality, get the Mikey 55mm f1.4. Not only is it the sharpest, it's also the fastest lens that you can get. This lens has the widest aperture at f1.4, so that means you're looking at the smoothest background blur out of the 3, and it will be helpful in low light situations. I've also tested the autofocusing, and this Mikey seems to be the snappiest one out of all of them. This lens also has an aperture ring, which isn't that common for a third-party lens amongst Fuji users. And it has an AF/MF toggle switch as well. And it also has a rubber gasket seal to help prevent any dust and liquid from getting into the mount. However, it is not weather sealed, so you still shouldn't take this lens out in bad weather. It also has a great build, and it feels like the best build out of the 3 lenses here. However, this lens is also the expensive one out of the 3 lenses, coming in at $200. Me personally, I think this is a fantastic lens, and for $200, you're getting a lot of features that aren't going to be in the next 2 lenses that I'm going to be talking about. The next one is the TT Artisan's 56mm f1.8. Now, if you want the best all-around lens, but you find that $200 $50 for the Mikey is out of your budget, this would be the next best option. It also has the best close focusing distance as well at 50 centimeters, which is really good for a lens of this focal length. The Viltrox is at 55 centimeters and the Mikey is at 61. So if you guys like shooting close and getting that semi-macro detail shots, the TT Artisan is the one to get. The TT Artisan also suffers from the most flare I found out of the three. So you're going to lose some contrast if you're shooting in backlight situations. This lens is coming in at $129, which is pretty good to get something of this price, and you're getting an all-around good performing lens. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles like the Mikey has. It doesn't have an aperture ring nor a rubber gasket seal or like an MF/AF toggle switch. It's really just the bare bones. So up next, we got the Viltrox 56mm f1.7. The lens is the least sharpest in this group, and I find that the two other lenses performs better wide open. I also found that this lens does not autofocus well like the other two. It is not as snappy, and there is like a millisecond drag before it acquires focus, something that isn't found in the other two lenses. The other two lenses are quite snappy. However, I still find that there is a place for this lens. If you're someone that wants a compact, stealthy lens, the Viltrox is it. Out of the three lenses, it is the smallest and the most compact. The Mikey and TT Artisans is a bit bigger and chunkier than the Viltrox. Now, I think this lens is great for the street photographers out there who values compact size over anything else. If you stop down your shots, you're going to get a great image quality and really sharp, amazing photos. This lens is coming in at $169 though. So there you have it, folks. I gave you a few reasons why you should get a 56mm lens. It's honestly great for portraits, and it's a focal length that most people get when they first get into photography because of that subject isolation and that background blur, that tone, that bokeh, and you can easily achieve that with this focal length. It's great for headshots, so if you're someone that is just starting their photography journey and you don't have like $1,000 to spend on the XF 56mm f1.2, go check out the three budget-friendly lenses that I suggested here as well. All three of them offer something different for different users, so it's up to you to decide which one you want. And again, it's a great time to be a Fuji shooter because third-party lenses are getting better and much more affordable. Like, all three of these lenses can do really good job, and they take like really good photos. So which one do you guys want? Let me know down in the comments below, and links to these lenses can be found in the description. And if you found this video helpful, consider subscribing for more Fuji content like this. And thanks